What do we think about having Scott Taylor up in Congress to fight for us, represent us? Perfect. With that, I think we're ready for our next governor, Frank Wagner. We've worked with Senator Frank Wagner for 25 years. Will be our next governor. He's a great guy, Naval Academy graduate, go Navy. Exactly. So with that, Senator Frank Wagner for the introduction of who? Great job, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. And let me just say this. I had the opportunity to debate the head of the Democrat Party from the Hampton Roads region on ABC News here locally. I was debating on behalf of Donald Trump. And obviously, she was debating on Brand X. And but one of the things I brought up, one of the things that I said was, they said, well, 35% of the public doesn't trust Donald Trump, 38% doesn't trust Hillary Clinton. What do you think? You know, how do you support your candidate? And I said this. I said 65% of the country says we're headed in the wrong direction. 65% of Americans think this country's headed in the wrong direction. The definition of insanity is repeating the same thing over and over again. All Hillary Clinton said is, let's continue on with what Barack Obama has brought us. And I said, if you cut through the chase, if you cut through all the buzz and whatnot, listen to what Donald Trump says. Lower taxes, less government, less regulation, and a strong military. Can't work. For those of you who don't remember Ronald Reagan, I will tell you that equation works. It works. It rebounded our economy. It brought pride back into America. It did all the things that we know it works. So let's try it again. And I'll tell you a key part of that, if we're going to change Washington, we have to have new faces in Washington. More importantly, we have to have faces that have been on the battlefield, that have served in our military, know what it means when you commit military, knows what it means when you give them a mission they can do, you define the mission. You don't hamstring them, you let them go. The only way we'll get those kind of decisions in Washington is to start sending military vets to Washington. And I couldn't be so proud because we're sending one of our finest. One of our finest. I had an opportunity to work with him as a member of the House of Delegates. I know he's an outstanding legislator. I know he knows how to work with other people. But more importantly, I know because of his real-world experiences in Iraq, he knows what it means to be a soldier on the ground in harm's way. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no replacing that. That's why I'm proud to be up here today and supporting Scott Taylor, our next congressman from the 2nd District, one that's going to be there a long time and do us a great job. Scott!
Steph, I really appreciate it. He knows how to bring people to the room, right, Steph? Thank you, Senator Wagner. I appreciate it. You guys know me, I don't really like a podium. I like getting out. I'd be standing in the middle of you if I could. I'll do that. I don't know if you can hear it. I don't know if it'll work. But listen, I'm honored and humbled that you're here tonight. I truly am. And let me, I was thinking what I was going to say as I was losing my voice the past couple of days. I'm like, I'd like to be brief. But I was thinking about what I would say initially to you guys, and I think that this story is appropriate. I remember going into boot camp, and I left my small town on the Eastern Shore, the Delmarva Peninsula, and I'd never been on a plane before, and I go to boot camp, and boot camp sucked. Right? Oh yeah. Right? Some of y'all been there before. I'll tell you that I would rather be in SEAL training than in boot camp. So I remember every single day, one of the things that got me through boot camp as a young, I just turned 18 years old, was the letters that I received. So I'm from this little small town, and everybody knew what I was going to do. My family and friends and everybody, this community is so close. And when I got in here today, I'm looking around and I'm seeing some faces that I've known for a long time, and you've been supportive of me since I decided to get into this endeavor called politics, which I'm not sure which one is more dangerous, being a SEAL or being in politics. I don't know. But I will tell you, when I went into boot camp, and I started to receive all these letters, and it was the highlight of my day, because it would be from family and friends in that small community, and you guys remind me of that community. And I will tell you that it was those people and those letters that got me through the hard times in boot camp. It was those people and those letters that I thought about when I was going through SEAL training in Hell Week. It was those people and those letters that I thought about when I was in Iraq. Those people and those letters I think about today. So I will tell you that you all remind me, a lot of the faces in here, of some of those people. So I'm blessed and humbled that you're here tonight, so please give yourself a round of applause for doing that. Now, I don't think there's anything small about the big problems that our nation faces. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
But I also don't agree with the notion that they can't be solved. I don't agree with the notion that our best days are behind us as a nation. I just think we need new blood, new thought process. Yeah. How many of you guys know the story about David and Goliath?
Yeah.
You better know the story about David and Goliath. Right, so you got David, skinny guy, has no weapons or anything except for a sling. And then you got this big guy, Goliath, who's completely armored from head to toe. It looks like Rico. But he's in the middle of the valley. You got the Philistines on one side, and you got the Israelites on the other. Everyone there, both sides, thought that he was invincible, unbeatable, that you had this Goliath problem that could not be solved, except for David. David knew that he would be able to defeat Goliath. So how many of you guys think that story is about an underdog that beat insurmountable odds?
Yeah.
What if I told you that you're looking at it the wrong way? What if I told you that the same problems, the Goliath-sized problems that our nation faces, are being looked at just like Goliath was? That actually, in ancient times, there were three types of warriors. You had the cavalry, the horses, and the chariots. You had the infantry, David, right? Or excuse me, Goliath type, with the spear and javelin and sword. And then you had the archers and the slingers, right? The Bible says that a good slinger could sling a stone and at a hair and not miss, right? The Bible also says that stone that hit Goliath sunk in his head, because slingers back then could generate the same velocity as a pistol now, right? So what if I was to tell you that Big Bad Rico, or Goliath, was in the middle of that valley, and everyone thought that he's going to crush David, right? Except for David. That David actually couldn't be beat, because there's no way that guy was ever going to be able to catch him, and he had the equivalent of a pistol, right? There's nothing small about the big problems that our nation faces today, but they are surmountable. We can fix them if we have leaders who think like David thinks, right? Yeah. Look, some people ask me why I get involved in politics. I lost a bet. Just kidding. But look, I'll tell you, I started getting involved because I want to make a difference, right? I like to solve problems. I like to have a seat at the table. I'm running for this position because I believe that our nation is headed down the wrong path, right? And I think that we need some serious change. I think that we do need leaders who can navigate through chaos with clarity. But what I'll tell you is, serving as a delegate has taught me a couple things, and I learned a lot about teamwork before then, but I certainly learned it there and how to deal with it in a legislative body. But one of the things that has been so humbling and awesome for me with this chance to serve is I like helping people. I like helping people. I like helping them solve problems. I like having the ability to have a little bit of power so that you can help those who don't have power. Right? That's why I'm involved in politics. That's why I'm taking this step and I put myself out there and get beat on in the media and all that stuff like that. Who cares? There's a bigger cause. There's a bigger calling. I don't think that we've taken care of our veterans properly. Right? I do believe that we can change that. I imagine, and I will fight for, making sure that we do take care of our vets, that they have access to care, that they have access to private care if necessary, that the culture changes, absolutely. I do believe that we can salvage Social Security and Medicare. I do believe that. I think there are responsible ways to do that. And quite frankly, and this is no disrespect to another generation, it will be my generation and beyond that will have to stand up and say we want to salvage this. We want these programs to be there when we're there. That we will raise the age up because we know that we're living longer. And the politicians that are a little older than us that have not dealt with the problem, even though they know it's on a bad trajectory because they're worried about getting politically attacked for grannies going over the cliff or something like that. We don't have that problem. And my generation will step up and we will deal with that issue. I don't believe that we're headed down the right path in terms of foreign policy.
Yes, no.
I believe that we have to have leaders who are in positions of authority that understand the way the world works. That they are operating in foreign policy based on that and not based on how they wish it was. Because if that's the case, you see what you've seen in the last 8 years, where you've seen turmoil, chaos, more conflict, states that are no longer states anymore. Those are the things that I want to address when I get up to Washington. I believe that we can repeal and replace, for the Republican word, sequestration. That law that's hurting our military, it's hurting our military families, and it's coming back.
Yes.
So those are the big issues that I want to tackle. They're not small, but we got to start. If you want to have grand ideas and make big change, you got to start with small steps, correct? What I want to issue a challenge to some of the people here. Where are my under 45ers? I want to challenge all of you, because there's some people in here that I've seen a lot, and there's some people that I have not seen, and I just want to challenge you to get involved. Because oftentimes we look up and we think, we can't solve these problems, and usually the next generation of leadership runs into headwinds. Lord knows I've run into some headwinds, probably about $2.2 million worth of headwinds recently. But there are many folks that will tell you that you're not ready, or you can't do it, or it's impossible. Well, impossible is an opinion. Impossible is an opinion. So I want to encourage all of you to get involved. And it starts right now. It starts in your home. Because you can be a leader, it doesn't matter what your position is. We can all be leaders wherever we are in any organization. It starts in your home. It starts in your work. It starts in your community. Whatever it might be. Maybe it's politics. There's all kinds of ways to serve. But I want to encourage everyone that's in my generation to get involved. Be leaders. Sacrifice. And I know that our generation has sacrificed more than since the greatest generation in these wars. But we're not done yet. We're not done yet. So lean in. Lean in, under 45ers. Don't be timid. So listen, I want to end tonight because I just want to thank you for being here. I really, really appreciate it. I think that we're going to win Tuesday. I think we win. I think we will win, and we will begin changing Washington. Because I believe that we can change the direction of this nation, and it is politics that is the catalyst to be able to do that. But we want to win big, ladies and gentlemen. We just don't want to squeak over the finish line. We need every single one of you to go out there and grab your mother, grab your family, grab your brother, hell, grab somebody you don't know and bring them to the polls. Let's win big. Let's win really, really big and send a message that we're going to change Washington. Thank you all very much for coming out here. God bless you. God bless Virginia. And God bless these United States of America. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen.